What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. I'm your host, Love Coach Scott Catamas, and tonight is an edition of our Community Connections. And we've got a really wonderful group of people who are going to be presenting, playing music. We're going to be learning, hearing some interesting stories, and learning all about different ways that we can support important members of our community. In no particular order, really in the order of who I see them, we have with us tonight Khadijih, and Khadijih is your go-to source for beautiful meditations. No joke, I start my day about 2 or 3 times a week with her meditations. And she's also going to be sharing with us all about PAWS, which is an animal wellness program. So welcome, Khadijih, glad to have you with us. And we've got the lovely Heather and Miss Daisy, and we're going to be learning all about Miss Daisy's magical Wonderland. So thank you, Heather, for bringing her on. And Heather also has introduced us to, and Heather knows music and she knows talent. And so when she says, Scott, you got to have Hannah on the show, I checked it out. And yes, we're going to have Hannah Bourke making her Awakening World debut tonight, which we're excited about. And we also have one of our friends from Humanities Team. We all love Humanities Team. And Charissa Sims is with us tonight. And then we're going to meet a really fascinating couple. They're new friends. This is Britton and Carolee. And they have had an extraordinary life. And we're going to be learning all about their journey into sovereignty and freedom. So these are our guests. And of course, we have our beloved Omashar with us. It's a very Sebastapol, Colorado evening. Half the people here are from Colorado, half are from Sebastapol. And I'm somewhere in the middle. But it's going to be a fun night. It's going to go a little bit longer tonight because we've got a lot going on. So have some tea because we're going to be together probably until about 8:15 or 8:30 Pacific time. And as always, we are going to start the show with beloved Omashar and an opening song.
That would be me, and namaste and welcome. Welcome to all of our broadcast partners and Facebook and YouTube viewers. And this song is called One Heart, One Mind, and One Soul. And here we go. Sometimes it feels so hard to move. my friends. There is a new song calling us back to our homelands. When something troubles you, just call out my name. I am the one who loves you. Be still within. Hear what I say. Give me the chance to be with you. We are one heart, one mind, one soul, working together to heal. And there are no walls between us now. It's a celebration of union. So when you're feeling down and on your own, take a look around. I am in everything. Give me your burden, walk into my arms. I will lift you up, I will hold you. We are one heart, one mind, one soul, working together to heal. And there are no walls between us now. It's a celebration of union. We are the ones who hear the new voice calling us home to freedom. Fear not, my friends. This is a new place full of new joys and happiness. Yes, we are one heart, one mind, one soul, working together to heal. And there are no walls between us now. It's a celebration of union.
I love that he can even create a gong song at the end, right? A gong sound. Let's all twinkle. The gong master, Omashar.
I know the gong master to tell me when to finish. He goes, "It's the gong. Finish now, Omi." So
So you're gonging yourself.
I'm gonging myself.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Now it's gone.
And Omashar will be back, of course, throughout the evening. Well, Heather Starr, I also know her as Heather Hansen, has been a wonderful contributor. She's introduced us to multiple people, most recently Astra Fox, who was just on the show last Saturday night. Wasn't that an amazing show, by the way? Anyway, when Heather speaks, we listen. And she referred me to something really wonderful going on in Sebastapol. And so welcome, Heather, and I'd love for you to introduce Miss Daisy and tell us a little bit about what you all are up to.
Yes. Hi. Thank you so much for having us on the show and being just such amazing supporter of all us star seeds out there, making the connections with each other and amplifying each other's energy in so many ways. And yeah, so we're here at Miss Daisy's Magical Wonderland. You can see in this beautiful setting here. And Miss Daisy has been stewarding as the owner of this land for 15 years and has always been open to community, holding many drum circles and community events, all about healing and bringing people together. And it was about 4 years ago that I met her and was looking for community that was really in resonance with what I was experiencing in my own personal awakening. And Astra Fox actually brought me here for the first time for a drum circle. And when I walked onto this land, I was so inspired. I had just started producing events, and I really wanted to put on an event, a Samhain sort of Halloween celebration, honoring the thinning of the veils and just really honoring the mystics. And it was the mystical festival. And I was like, wow, this would be the perfect place for a festival. I had no idea she really like hosted many events here or anything. And I asked Daisy if she'd be up for it. And she was like, sister, I've been calling you in. She'd been wanting to get more events going here at Wonderland after closing down her Airbnb with the lockdowns, and really calling in more creative expression and music and gatherings. And I mean, there's a long story that follows, but we did our mystical festival and we've been putting on events together ever since. And it's been a beautiful partnership.
Beautiful. Well, you sent me a really fun video. Why don't we show the video, and then we'll give our audience a little taste of Miss Daisy's Wonderland, Magical Wonderland. So here we go.
Bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya bum 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 hey ya I love it and it grows. I love it and it grows. I trust it and it grows. A new reality. I play in the garden. I play in the garden. I play in the garden of prosperity. I dance in the garden. I dance in the garden. I dance in the garden of prosperity. I tend it and it grows. I love it and it grows. I trust it and it grows. A new reality. Hey ya, hey ya, hey yo. Hey ya, hey ya.
That is so much fun. That is really fun. I'm going to go to gallery view. It's just all Twinkle, Miss Daisy, and Heather Starr, for really creating such a sweet and wonderful community where clearly a lot of wonderful things take place. So, thank you for that. And, at this time in our history, especially with what's going on in the world, it's all about community. It's funny, I often say that 20 years ago, everybody was looking for their soulmate, and now everybody's looking for their community, right?
Yeah.
So, Miss Daisy, what would you like for our audience to know?
Well, first of all, thank you all for agreeing to be on planet Earth and helping, and sharing your light and your gifts. And I think just bringing community together and help and keeping Wonderland happening, because it's a safe place for children. It's a safe place for community to be. And we hold down our freedom, our sovereignty, and our common law. And we're growing together. And the more community, and this is also a new earth paradigm timeline that we're here and creating, and we're all leaders in this movement.
I'm going to read a few comments that are coming in. And they're located in Sebastapol. They're in Sebastopol, which is about 90 minutes north of San Francisco. And some of the comments that have come in, Eleanor Troy wrote, "This is gorgeous. I'd love to be there." Well, thank you, Heather. Britton and Carolee, who we're going to meet in a little while, right? What a magical land. Would love to visit. And of course, people loving Sebastopol, loving the vocals, and loving Heather Starr's purple hair.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Astra Fox did it.
Oh, really? Wow. And of course, I saw Astra throughout the video.
Yeah.
And also Anastara, who's on the show frequently. She was in the video. So it's all that family, the Northern California family. We've got some Northern California people in the audience right now. George Noble. So now you've got a special event coming up. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, I want to share sort of the state that Wonderland is in at the moment. We've been going through, we spent some time to go through a big growing process. We had some hard lessons with trying to operate on the three-dimensional realm while really feeling connected to the multiple dimensions, and really needed to take some time to get grounded for the vision. And we took on a Stara's course and got a lot of clarity on how we can be leaders in the new earth. And at this point, Wonderland has gotten a reality check, which has been a huge catalyst for us for taking action and getting clarity. And we're getting foreclosure notices here now. And the taxes are just astronomical, property taxes. And Miss Daisy being on a limited income, and then me being somebody who just wants to invite people and have everything be for free. We're really realizing we need to have like some reciprocity going so that we can have Wonderland in our community forever. Really, that's Daisy's vision, is to keep it in the community forever. And so with the foreclosure notices, Daisy's been a huge inspiration to me because she has been asking for help from the community, and community has been showing up. And we have people who are more familiar with the three-dimensional game of finances who are helping us now. And we have the Spirit Sisters of Sonoma County. Miss Daisy put a post on their Facebook group. There's like 1,700 women on that group now. And she put a post asking if anybody knows how to reach out to millionaires who want to invest in a vision. And all of a sudden these women were like, where's Wonderland? I want to go. What is this place? And they're all wanted to be a part of it. They want to be a part of the vision, and they want to support it. And so out of that was birthed the Healing Fair and Egg Hunt that's taking place on April 19th from 12 to 4. And we have it on Facebook there, and we're gonna have a cleanup party and after party drum circle afterwards, and keep the keep the party going into the night. And we're having a conscious egg hunt, no sugar, just stickers and tattoos and fun stuff for the kids. And we have all these amazing healers who are going to be here donating their time, and the 100% of the proceeds will go to Wonderland. So they're offering their services on a scale from $20 to $60. And so you can come here and get some amazing healing. And we're also have amazing performers. They're going to be here sharing their healing sound frequencies, drumming, light language.
Bring your drum.
So bring your drum. Yeah. I'm going to be singing a few songs too. Since I started putting on events at Wonderland, the first event I put on, I cooked quesadillas the entire time. And I was a country singer who didn't resonate with the music anymore. So it was through Wonderland, all the people that I've met here, that I was able to connect with the resources that helped me find my sacred voice. And now I channel songs. And so I'll be sharing some of my songs as well. And so, yeah, just stepping out of the dental field into Wonderland made me a sacred songstress, a cosmic co-creatress for spiritual entrepreneurs. I also deeply connected with Deborah Juicy, who came to our events and became a princess in her queendom. And we have the Sovereign Super Sisters production company together. And so Wonderland to me has been just the most amazing teacher, working the land, getting creative with it, being able to express heart authentically, and then putting these events together and co-creating them has been just so powerful in the connections that have been made. And it's like, I never went to college. This is my college. This is my New Earth school. So
When you say heart authentically, that sounds like a Michaela-ism. I'm guessing that may have come from Michaela.
yes, she's in my wheelhouse too.
So again, a reminder, so the in-person event that for any of you who can make it, it's Saturday, April 19th from 12 noon till 4 p.m. That's perfect. That gives you time to get back in time to watch The Awakening World 2 hours later. And that's happening in Sebastapol at the Wonderland. Actually go there, experience it. So I'm strongly encouraging that.
Yeah.
Now, I know many of you live a little too far away for Wonderland, but you can still support Wonderland. And there's a GoFundMe that they've just started. I'm going to donate in a moment and really want to encourage all of you to donate to save Miss Daisy's Wonderland from foreclosure. You know, it's so important for us to have community places like this. It's so magical. And I really appreciate kind of your honesty and vulnerability that, you know, learning how to handle the 3D world has not been Miss Daisy's strength. And so it's important for us to support her. And so I'm going to put it into the chat box again where people can donate. Please, everybody, let's be generous. While Hannah is playing music, I'm going to actually donate. Miss Daisy, is there anything you would like to add or share right now?
Well, you know, Wonderland has always been a very safe place to be, that even although there were lockdowns, we came here and still celebrated, and we hugged and we loved each other up and validated each other. And people were coming in out of town. It was the only place where they would come in and cry because of everything that was happening. And they just wanted, you know, it was just one of those unique places. And, you know, it's here, this isn't about me. This is here to serve. We're here to serve, you know, in this new paradigm. And I'm in great gratitude when I received this gift on my 60th birthday from the universe unexpectedly. I wanted to give back, and my giving back is creating this place for our community, for healing and our children,
Mhm.
and just to have fun and magic. Everybody that has come here has brought lessons and magic.
Mhm.
And you can feel it in here. And we've got ancestors that are here. We're the returning ancestors. And so we are the returning ancestors, and we do have ancestors that do hang out here, and they like to party too.
Mhm.
Anyway, thank you
Yeah,
all.
we've had many shamans and healers that come here, and they confirm that it is a healing vortex, and you can feel it when you come.
Mhm.
We've had just amazing gatherings of teens. We've had teen groups come here who just love it. Daisy's so good with the kids. She really makes them feel right at home. And the teens love her. The kids love her. She teaches piano lessons. And we've had nature enrichment programs here for kids. And it's all been of service. Daisy just really wants the space to be available to the community.
And to be of service.
And to be of
Yeah.
service. Yeah. So we're really exploring ways of how we can really have it be of service and be available, with whether it be angel investors. There's even an opportunity to possibly buy Daisy out of the mortgage, but help hold the vision with her and allow her to steward the land. Like we're really in the wonder of Wonderland and what's to come next. Because this
And
place
trusting.
has really lived on a miracle. It's been incredible how things have been like, 3-dimensional level, like they're hanging on by a thread, but like things always show up when you need it. And it's been like, I feel like I've been saving Wonderland the whole time, but it's been saving me.
Sure, that's how it goes.
Possible.
I
Yeah.
want to read a couple comments and point out a couple things for people.
Mhm.
Susan writes, Miss Daisy, thank you for providing a place for people to find a new way of living. Love the wholesome feeling of the place. And George Noble says, Wonderland is a 15-minute drive from me here in Santa Rosa. I've been many times there drumming and attending various events. So George has been actually there. There's another way that people can contribute. And again, this is in the chat box for our Zoom roomers, but for those of you watching on Facebook, as they're putting together this big event, they are looking for healing practitioners, volunteers for setup, cleanup, and facilitation, silent auction donations. So if you've got things to donate, that would be wonderful. That's another way you can support. If you are watching on Facebook or YouTube and you can't go into our Zoom room, feel free to private message me. I'm the only Scott Catamas on the planet. You can use Facebook Messenger to reach me. And I'll get you more details, but let's definitely support them. Also, I want to just remind people, when you're donating on GoFundMe, there's an important trick for people to know. You do not have to give a tip to GoFundMe. So when you put in the amount that you're going to donate, so for example, I'm going to donate $44. Just below it is the tip jar. Now, if you don't touch it, they'll automatically hit you up for 17%. But you can take this little toolbar and slide it all the way to the left. And that way, all the money, if you wish, goes to Miss Daisy's magical Wonderland. So I will complete that during Hannah's song. So there's some tips. While Hannah plays, let's enjoy Hannah, but let's also all donate. Let's go in there, go into the GoFundMe, let's donate. And also for those of you who can provide some of the services they're looking for, please do so. And I will read the names of the people who've donated tonight. So definitely please donate. If you don't want your name read, just click anonymous. And Heather, please tell us about this wonderful new musical artist for the Awakening World, Hannah.
Yes. Well, I first saw her and was totally enchanted when I walked into Soft Medicine for the Yaima concert over a year ago. And I was just taken back by her beauty of her music, and her true essence just was shining so vulnerably in how she was sharing her songs. And I was truly inspired. And then it was this last New Year's Eve at my friend Don Light's 50th birthday party. She was playing there. And I really I was like, wow, she's just she's a starseed, multi-dimensional being of light. And I heard these tones in her voice that I'd never heard before. It was like from another world, another planet. And we connected deeply that night and became friends. And I learned that she's also a clairvoyant psychic and a healer, a multi-dimensional energetic healer, and a Reiki master. And so when I asked her if she would share her medicine songs with us at the healing fair, she was on board 100%. And yeah, I'm really excited for her to be a part of it and really anchor her prayers on this beautiful land with our community.
Great. Well, welcome, Hannah. And tell us a little bit about yourself. What else would you like for our audience to know about you?
Hello, everyone. What an honor to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much, Heather, for that just very familiar and loving introduction. I'm truly excited to support anchoring this new earth paradigm with you and all of us and support Miss Daisy and Wonderland. I feel that mission in my soul very deeply, and us coming together in love and God unity consciousness, source unity consciousness is ultimately love, as we remember the love that we are and the love that holds the fabric of the universe together. So I'm all on board for Wonderland, excited to play and offer song medicine and healings there. I work as an intuitive and a Reiki healer and a multidimensional healer as well. I've been playing guitar since I was 16. I'm 34 now. But around 2020, healing songs started to pour forth through me. And I started to sing in devotion to the Divine Mother, Holy Sophia, and to Gaia, and to all of life. And these songs healed me first. And it wasn't deeply vulnerable for me to step into playing them, and still is to this day, but I do it with a prayer in my heart to be of service at this time. I really am devoted to helping us open our hearts and awaken our souls and remember who we are and why we came here. And yeah, I offer these songs from that place of grace and love and devotion. And I'm excited to sing for you tonight. I'll sing 2 songs. This first song is called Earth's Daughter, and the second song will be Humble Like the Jungle. So with that, I will start, and this is Earth's Daughter.
Great. Thank you, Hannah. gallery view. What a beautiful, beautiful song. Wow.
Thank you.
Hannah, you're wonderful. Shoshana writes, your voice is so gorgeous, like the winds of the Divine Mother that whispers through the soul. Omashar, who's got good taste, writes, wonderfully potent tones, Hannah. Beautiful song, Earth's Daughter indeed. And let's all give her a Global Peace Tribe twinkle and appreciation. Thank you, everybody who do have your cameras on. We sure appreciate that. And as we continue to get to know Hannah a little bit, there's a couple of things I want to let people know. She's got, her website is her name, hannahbourke.com, BOURKE.com, HANNAH, Hannah Bourke, BOURKE.com. And I can see here that you do a lot, Reiki training, divine feminine healing and empowerment ceremonies, psychic and healing services. What would you like for our audience to know about? What do you most enjoy doing that could be of service to our Global Peace Tribe?
So I do a very specific style of intuitive psychic reading and healing. I am an ascension guide. That was a name given to me by God during a Kundalini awakening last year. And I help people very gently unwind trauma patterns, limiting beliefs, and begin to anchor more of the light of their higher self into their body, mind, and spirit, into their light bodies, into their cellular bodies very deeply. And it's a very gentle but very powerful style of intuitive energy reading and healing, and it's a co-creative process. And I also offer trainings so you can deepen in healing yourself as well, both one-on-one psychic development training so you can deepen in your ability to heal yourself and anchor your higher self in your body, mind, spirit, and Reiki classes. And that's a really beautiful initiation. If you've ever experienced Reiki, it is so gentle and so potent. And Reiki level 1, you begin to learn how to heal yourself and begin to support the healing of others. And then my ceremony that I offer is a psychic healing ceremony called the Divine Feminine Healing and Empowerment Ceremony. And I believe the Divine Feminine, I know it to be an energetic principle that exists within all of us, male, female, and non-binary, and it is connected to our intuition, to God's source, and it is how we can heal ourselves and really awaken in balance and in harmony. So I guide ceremonial healing spaces for us to deepen in our ability to heal ourselves with our own intuitive multidimensional awareness. And it's open. I have one ceremony that's for women, and I have one ceremony that's open to everyone. And if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to connect with you.
Beautiful. Well, you are a perfect Global Peace Triber. And one more thing, she's going to do another song for us later on in the show, but she also has a GoFundMe. The song we just heard, she would like to turn into a music video, which I think is a very good idea. Once again, I'm going to donate, and I want to encourage people to also donate. So I'm going to put that link into the chat box one more time. But for those of you watching on Facebook, if you go into GoFundMe, and you put in Earth's Daughter Music Video Project or something like that, it'll show up for you. And let's get the video done. And then once we get the video done, Hannah, I'd love for you to come back on the show and we'll play the video for everybody. How's that sound?
Would love that.
Beautiful. Well, as I said, she's going to be back in a little while. And so we're really looking forward to hearing more from you. And thank you for blessing us with your presence and with your song.
Thank you.
You turned your mic off.
There we go. I was trying to remove the spotlight and I hit the wrong button. All right, take a breath, Scott. It's really a beautiful show tonight. I want to introduce Khadijih. She's our next presenter. And I have access to a lot of people who do meditation. And many of them have been on the show. I sometimes listen to Eden Amador's meditations, sometimes listen to Prema Gaya's meditations, sometimes listen to Vivienne Chavez. Those are women whose people whose meditations I really enjoy. And I start every morning with somebody, one of those meditations. The Twin Ray, of course. I was actually on the phone with Shakina Ma today. But I've recently discovered Khadijih, and her meditations are so beautiful. Her voice is exquisite, and she's clearly tapped in. And she was on the show maybe about a year ago, and then I got reacquainted with her when I joined the Connection Field, because she's very involved with Shirley Kroll and Charissa Collins and the Connection Field family. And so I've started playing her meditations. And I literally was thinking to myself, I want to find a way to support her. And it was in my consciousness. The next day, boom, I got an email from her letting the world know about something that she's involved in that I want all of us to help support. So that's how quickly we can manifest. It really was a big Khadijih. And I think I happened to have just opened my email, and I sometimes miss emails because I only get to email once every day or two. And I'd literally just opened my email and you had just sent yours. And so it was right there at the top. So it was meant to be. Welcome back to the Awakening World. And before we go into your meditation part of your life, please tell us all about PAWS.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. And thank you, everyone, Hannah and Heather Starr and Miss Daisy. This has been such a special evening, and everyone who's still yet to speak after. It's really lovely to always to be part of these spaces and these circles. So the way I always offer any sort of guidance or, information or present, I always just attune and listen to what I'm supposed to share. And so I was doing that before we started tonight, and it was like start from the beginning. So about 5 years ago, I did both a meditation and had an astral projection experience where I was blasted into a future space that I didn't really know where I was. So this astral projection, I landed in this retreat center, which was my own. And I was walking around this space looking for somebody who could tell me what was going on, because this was in the beginning of when I started to astral project, and I was really new at it and didn't really know what was happening. And I was walking around, and it was just this beautiful, beautiful place out in land, and this beautiful building, and there were just such heart-centered individuals there. And I came up upon this gentleman, and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where I am and and why I'm here?" And he said, "Oh my goodness, you're here too soon. You're not supposed to be here yet." And he goes, "This is your retreat center." And I was like, "Can I see me? Can I talk to me?" And he said, No, you can't. You're way too soon. You're way too early. You're not ready for it yet." And I remember trying to find my way to find myself. And he escorted me into this big library that, if you could imagine, like the Beauty and the Beast kind of a library, he escorted me in there and he said, "Would just wait in here." And I waited in there until the space fizzled away. It was like, "Oh, you have to just go here until you wake up," kind of a thing. And after I came out of that experience, I just knew that somewhere in my future was a retreat center or wellness space or something. And I just kept walking my path. And I was guiding meditations and doing mentoring and working very, very intimately with the Islands of Coherence and then the Connection Field. And always kind of feeling like, well, I'm supposed to do this. I know I'm going to start a retreat center. I know that's going to happen. But feeling like something was missing. And I didn't know what that was. And so last year, I went through a really deep soul searching to try to figure out what I was supposed to do with this vision in my mind, where I was headed in my life. And every day I would get up and I'd say, "Okay, God, what would you have me do? What would you have me do?" And that was just my question. And every day it was keep doing what you're doing and wait. Just wait for more information. You don't have all the information yet. You're not quite there. Just keep going. So I did. And then on September 18th of last year, my sweet Tobias, my puppy dog, who I'd had for 9 years, died of cancer. And he had been battling cancer for, well, pretty much his whole life. He'd had skin cancer removed twice. And the third time I helped heal it through heart coherence meditation. And at the same time that I helped heal this spot on himself, I was also healing something within my own body. And it was very evident to me how animals will take on something from their owners in order to protect their owners. And so so that whenever he passed away, I was doing my best to do heart coherence on him every day, trying to stay positive. I even outsourced to some healing groups that do animal heart coherence. And the day after I had 2 coherence healings done on him, distance healings, his spirit left his body. And it was very evident to me that his spirit was just too big to fit in his body anymore, and that he was ready. He was ready. And little did I know on that day, it was also the catalyst for the missing piece to my retreat center. Because after he passed, I just couldn't shake this feeling of all the animals across the world that are, that need help, that are suffering, that don't have the right environment, or, if you think about just the animal shelters across the United States alone, animals can't have good behavior and get out of the animal shelter for good behavior. They get out if somebody picks them, if somebody chooses them. They don't have the same kind of ability to have a voice like we do, or to advocate for themselves, or to make changes that are going to make their life better, right? They really rely on human beings. And I really feel as human beings who domesticated many animals, we have a responsibility to help correct this issue that exists. And I just couldn't shake it, but I knew I had found the missing piece. And I went to a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat in October of last year, and I had complete confirmation that the animals were the very missing piece of my vision of the retreat center. And what was so beautiful was I knew that my business was shifting. I knew that the way I was working in the world was shifting. And I kept asking, before I had any idea of what I was doing, I kept asking, well, what's going to be the name of this new business? And it was so you're just not ready for that. Why are you even asking that right now? But after he passed, it was about a week and a half later that I was sitting there and I was like, okay, fine. If I'm going to start an animal sanctuary, because when I first heard this, I was kind of like, are you really? This is what we're going to do? It felt a little intimidating because it felt so big. Felt so big. And, but I'm standing by the back door in my house and I just heard pause for pause. And that's what I would always tell my puppies is that, well, I still do. I tell my puppies when they come inside, pause for your paws so I can wipe them and clean them, because in Colorado it gets really, really muddy and dirty and we don't want to bring it into the house. And so it's pause for paws. And so I knew, I was like, oh man, it's almost like it was there all along and I couldn't even see it. Right. And so it was just so beautiful. And after that, everything just kind of fell into place to form PAWS Animal Wellness Sanctuary, which acronym is PAWS. And ultimately, the intention for this space is to be not only an animal sanctuary, but a wellness center for individuals where we can heal through our connection with earth, with animals, with our hearts, with community, and to really honor not only our own lives, but the lives of the animals around us. Many of you probably have animals and you know how healing they can be, right? Their presence can be. Let's see, what else do I want to share? So I have a few different friends that are helping me with this endeavor, and we've already gotten off the ground. We're incorporated, we're making moves. You can visit our website at pawssanctuary.com, and that is where you can find all the information about what we're up to. the Animal Sanctuary and Wellness Center will be located in Colorado, somewhere near where I am right now. Right now I'm in Longmont, Colorado, and I anticipate it'll be, I don't know. The universe hasn't quite figured that or told me that part. I don't think I'm ready for that either yet. I'm still in this one step at a time mode. The one other thing I did want to share was in October, we rescued 2 little baby girl puppy dogs from a kill shelter in New Mexico. And it's such a beautiful thing because, if you ever want to go and adopt an animal, sometimes people are afraid to go to a shelter because they think, well, there's lots of reasons and there's lots of stigmas associated with it. But one thing, people will often avoid the animals that are a little more shut down or reserved or even a little bit nervous to meet you. And we have to remember that these are animals that are in an environment that really isn't conducive to their healing. And so it's very normal for their behavior to be different in a shelter than it would be if outside of in the world once you get them out of that environment. And so the 2 girls that we adopted were actually the 2 most shut down, 2 of the most shut down in the shelter. And it's just brilliant how much they've already been flourishing and growing and evolving. And their names are Luna and Sol, so sun and moon in Spanish. And they are really the epitome of that. They are the sun and the moon. And they are teaching me more than I could ever teach them. But of course, it is a mutual relationship. So really for tonight, I'm going to guide us all through a meditation here. And I'm going to invite
Hold
you.
on before you do the meditation.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I want to make sure that people know how they can learn more. So let me take people to your 2 websites for PAWS. The main website is spelled PAWS, PAUSE, sanctuary.com, pawssanctuary.com. And everybody right now, let's go there and get on her mailing list. So let's all take a moment to do that. And because we want to track what she's doing and how this is all coming together. By the way, people are loving your story. Absolutely. Some of the comments that people have provided. Diara is getting chills and tears. Susan writes, I absolutely agree with your discussion. The free animals are not doing so well either. Carol Craig is a big fan of yours. She says, I first crossed paths with Khadijih through Global Peace Tribe and then became a regular meditation member, even when she was in El Salvador. So she's very happy to see you here. And there's actually a question for you. Susan's asking if you work with Leah Arnston. Is that a familiar name for you?
No, I'm not sure who that is. No.
Okay. And then also there's a Facebook page. So all of you guys who are watching on Facebook, it's easy. Just go into the search bar and put PAWS for PAWS, PAUSE.
It would be PAWS Animal Wellness Sanctuary for the Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. PAWS Animal Wellness Sanctuary, just as we're seeing right now. And God bless you, Tobias. I'm sure that big spirited Tobias will be right by your side, Khadijih, as you do these wonderful things. And your story is so beautiful, and how amazing to have that kind of an astral projection experience. I have to say, I'm going to share, I don't think I've ever shared this on the show before, but share a kind of personal story. About 2 years after my wife died, I had a connection with her after she died, but I had one of those kind of lucid dream astral projection moments. And the moment I realized I was in the astral, where's Suchi? That's my wife's name. Where's Suchi? And luckily I found her and we had a beautiful connection. So I thought of that as you were talking about, we are in those moments where we realize, oh my God, I'm having, a lucid dream experience or an astral projection. What do I want to find? Like, this is special, right? Where do I want to go? So congratulations on your retreat center of the future. And I'm sure many of the people watching right now will participate in that some way. All right. Turning
And
about
he's got, yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, I think that some of the most healing experiences have come through my astral experiences. So yeah, it's beautiful. I'm grateful for them for sure.
it's a blessing.
Yeah,
And it's such a blessing to know that we are multidimensional. When we have
yeah,
experience, we have now experienced that we are truly a multidimensional being.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
eliminates any fear of death. There might still
right.
be fear of pain of death, but the fear of death or the fear of it kind of being over is gone because we know that we're multidimensional.
Yeah, exactly. And you really can't, you just can't go back to business as usual, you know, you just can't like imagine that the world is, yeah, it's so interesting. Um, okay, so for tonight's meditation, I really want to invite us all to bring into our heart maybe an animal you've had a special bond with, whether they're still living or they've already passed, or if maybe you've never really quite had that experience, then I want to invite you. Maybe you have a spirit animal that you connect with. Or maybe there's just a certain species that you just love or are more interested in learning more about, like the squirrels or turkeys or, you know, a blue heron or whatever that might be for you. And we're gonna center into our hearts. This is a heart coherence practice. All of my meditations are heart coherence practices. And we're going to really start there. And then after a little bit of time, we're going to send that animal or that species of animal, just all that good love that we've generated within our hearts because they need it. You know, we often pulse the field out to the world and the humans. And of course, the animals benefit, but we're going to just dedicate this to the animals in our lives and the animals in the world. So if you just give me one moment to set up my screen and my sound, we will get started. I also want to invite you that if you, where is everybody? That if you, just want to make sure you can see my screen before I say anything else.
It's good.
Okay, good deal. Okay, if you or don't have your feet planted on the earth, go ahead and put your feet on the earth so that you can be in contact with the earth below you. And we're going to go ahead and get going. Welcome, dear ones, to this guided meditation, intentionally designed for you to connect with your precious heart, to feel into the vibration of love, and to send that love back out to the animals on this beautiful earth. If you haven't already, now is that perfect time to close your eyes. Gently drifting your awareness inside. And taking a moment to simply notice how you feel. To be present in your beautiful body, in this precious collective field. beginning to deepen and slow your breath, allowing each breath to help you drop more deeply into this present moment. With the next breath, gently drift your awareness into your sacred heart space in the center of your beautiful chest. Breathing deeply and slowly into your heart. Feeling the beating of your divine heart. As you breathe into this sacred place, allow yourself to call up the feeling of love. With each breath into your heart, feel the love expand in your chest. And as you breathe out, let this love flow through all the particles and cells in your body and personal field. Raising your own vibration with the power of love. Amplifying your energy with the power of divine love. Breathing deeply, breathing slowly, present in your heart, present with love. And with the next breath into your heart, bring into this precious space an animal or species of animals that you love dearly and wish to help with your own love. For a moment, hold this animal or animals within your heart. See them showered in the vibration of healing love. feel as they are uplifted by the vibration of love. Each breath into your heart, allow the vibration of love to grow stronger. And as you breathe out, infuse these animals with this high vibration and power of love. As you continue to breathe, you can stay here with this very specific focus. Or if you feel called, you can begin pulsing this vibration of love out into the earth, sending it out as far as the mind can comprehend. Allowing this love to touch the hearts of all the animals across the world. All those precious hearts who need this love now. Witnessing as the vibration of these animals begin to rise. Witnessing how they can be healed with your love. And then gently returning your awareness to that central space within your heart. Taking 3 more deep breaths, feeling into this love once more. Love for the animals, love for the earth, and love for the self. And then gently begin bringing your awareness back to the room or physical space that holds you. Bringing with you this divine and precious love. Maybe even wiggling your fingers and toes, or letting your body move in whatever way it's called to move. And when you're ready, gently fluttering your eyes open, returning to this precious present moment in time.
That was so delicious. And little Jasmine Bear here especially appreciated it, representing the animal kingdom. Yeah. So thank you so much for the chance for us to really connect in with our beloved animals, both the ones that we get to have as our fur family and those around the world. I'm going to go to gallery view, everybody. Let's give her just some beautiful twinkles. That was absolutely... See what I mean about her voice? It's such a wonderful way to start the day. Start the day with Khadijih.
Thank you, Scott. I'm totally carrying that one with me. It's so good.
Works. It really works, right?
Thank you.
And she has a website, which I really want to encourage everybody to go to. It's journeyintothesoul.com. And that's where you can learn how to meditate with her. And she's got her different heart-centered missions there. And of course, again, that's where you'll also find about PAWS Animal Wellness Sanctuary. So Khadijih is a blessing in our global peace tribe. And I hope you'll come back again sooner than later, because it's really special. And we want to track and follow as your beautiful sacred mission evolves.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Well, it's Colorado and Sebastapol night, and we're going from one Colorado soul to another Colorado soul, and that's Charissa Sims from Humanity's Team is with us. There she is. You saw her dancing and moving and grooving to the music. Hi there.
Hi, Scott. Thank you for having me. I actually, Khadijih and I were talking in the chat. We recognized each other from church in Colorado. So
Which church do you go to?
Unity Columbine. Unity Church.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but we've never really connected deeply. So it's just wonderful how the universe can push people together that are meant to connect. So
yeah, I mean, it was so funny because there was no reason that I pulled in, but all of a sudden you're from Colorado, Omashar's from Colorado, Khadijih's from Colorado, and the couple that were going to meet at the end of the show or towards the end of the show are also from Colorado, and that was all just kind of like, so it's a Sebastapol and Colorado night.
yes, and I love your sweet dog with the t-shirt. So that was who you meditated with?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Sending the love to the dogs that I've had over the years.
Oh.
How about you? What did you do with your meditation? What were you focusing on?
You know, that's such a good question. I'm so glad you asked, because I was thinking about my dog that passed, and then my dog that I have here now, that's also a rescue, she came in, and then horses came in, wild horses, and then spiders, ticks, and fleas. I guess they needed some love. They weren't feeling the love. And I can understand that, you know.
we don't, when we think of sending love to our animal friends, not
Mhm.
that many choose ticks and fleas. So, that's very, very generous of you. It's very compassionate.
Hey, I can't help it, it was just channeled. So I'm just being honest, but I thought it was rather silly. And then you asked me, and I'm like, I have to tell the truth.
I see that Khadijih is sending you hearts, so she's liking that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now let's talk about Humanities Team, because we love
Okay.
Humanities Team. Of course, Steve Farrell has been on the show several times.
Wonderful. Yes, Steve Farrell, the CEO and founder. It was founded 22 years ago. So
With
appreciate
Steve
it.
and Neil Donald Walsh, who also,
Yes.
we got to get, Neil used to be on the show a lot. We've got to reach out and
Oh,
get.
yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Get him
So,
back on.
what's your role in Humanities Team?
Yes, so I play a couple of different roles. I'm a live event host, so we usually have a weekly Wednesday program. I had the pleasure of interviewing Omashar. So it was great to have him on just to go deeper into who he is and not just hear his beautiful music, but to learn how wise he is and his own journey. So that was amazing. And I also, yes, yes. And I also am the director of strategic partnerships. So I work with various organizations, and I guess maybe I can consider Global Peace Tribe and you a strategic partner. I don't know if it's official, but I appreciate you featuring us and Humanities Team. So
Absolutely. Well, we would be honored to be strategic partners. And you guys do carry our shows. So that puts us in there somewhere.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and you've got something kind of special coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes. So I wanted to come on to Scott's show just for the experience, and it's been incredible so far. I'm getting a healing and feel amazing. And we're also having an event in Colorado called Sacred Awakening Live. And oh, great. You pulled it up. Thank you, Scott.
Of course.
So this is going to be our first real live event. Actually, Omashar went to an award ceremony that we had, and but this is our first real workshop, Sacred Awakening Live, where we're having Suzanne Giesman, Karen Noe, Deborah Poneman. I mean, this is an all-star cast. I can't believe they're all coming together, for our transformation, for our awakening. It's not just about them speaking. It's going to be interactive. There's going to be workshops, meditations. You're going to be collaborating and connecting with other people in the community. So this is really about you, and you don't have to necessarily live in Colorado. We do have a live stream available as well. So yeah, so some people, I wanted to clarify, in this event, some people are coming in live stream and some are coming in person. So Michael Bernard Beckwith, he's live stream, and Howard Martin of Heart Math, the founder and CEO of Heart Math. So that was kind of like a synchronicity of heart coherence meditation. And then also Neil Donald Walsh, he's coming in live stream. So everyone, and then Greg Braden is also live stream. So I wanted to clarify that that aspect of the event.
Omashar will be there in person, so that.
Omashar, thank you. Yes, Omashar will be performing, and I'm so excited about that. Do you want to say a few words, Omashar?
I'm really, I don't know about excited. I'm trying not to be too excited about stuff, but I'm really buzzed about it because in the last 3 years, I think I've done almost 400 plus online shows and only 9 live performances. And this will be the 10th one. And but to be just driving an hour down the road here to Fort Collins and to be a part of this monumental event with my like-minded brothers and sisters, I'm really looking forward to, absolutely. and I get to play a nice long set of about an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm just polishing my licks for that. So I really appreciate Steve and the team for having invited me. And of
Yeah.
course, my many of the people who are presenting there, I've presented with over the years. And one of my buddies from yesteryear is Greg Braden, of course. And so it's going to be wonderful to watch his live stream whilst
Yeah. I remember that you said you used to do music with him. That's incredible. I love your journey and story. So yes. And it's be there in person if you can. I mean, because there's just nothing that beats that heart connection, that eye contact, that resonance of us all being together as a community.
So again, just to repeat, everybody, this is going to be May 8th through 10th in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Mhm.
And for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you just go to humanitiesteam.org/sacred awareness, Sacred Awakening Live.
Yeah.
And
I know that that link is a little bit complicated to say,
if you
but
scroll
close
right-
enough. Yeah.
you just Google a Sacred Awakening Live.
Yeah. You'll find it.
You'll find it. You'll find it.
And I did want to offer something special. I'm sorry to interrupt. So I spoke with the CEO, Steve Farrell, today. He will be there live presenting as well as being the host. And I said, let's do something special. So for those that are here now listening or to the recording, if you put my name, Charissa, into the description, we have a special scholarship prize that's $299. So normally the event is $449, which is still pretty reasonable for an in-person event at the Drake Center, which is a gorgeous place in Fort Collins, Colorado. So he said, yeah, just tell them that they saw you and we'll give them the discount. So I thought that was really generous of him because I told him I was going to be on your show today, Scott.
So how do they do that now? So when they are registering, they put in your name and it automatically pull up it's like a discount code.
Yeah, it's a scholarship link. So there's a link to a jot form and then they apply. So there's the price for the live stream and there's the price for the in-person event. And right below that is the link for the scholarship. So they just have to put in their information and they'll get approved.
Okay, so
They put
just
my name.
show us how to find that.
Oh, sure. If you go ahead and scroll down, Scott, on here, and then you can click on get my tickets.
Okay, let me go back to get my tickets. Okay, click here.
Get my tickets and see the in-person event. It keeps scrolling down. Okay, see there's a click right there, in-person ticket scholarships. It is a little tricky to find, but thank you for walking them through this.
Sure.
So then you just put in your information. You're not paying yet. So you just put in your information and then with the intention of paying. And then you put in my name down into you know why you want to attend can be simple, like inspiration. It doesn't have to be like an essay or anything. And then underneath you can just put my name, Charissa Sims.
So we saw
Charissa. Yeah. And it's okay if you don't spell my name right. Oh my gosh. We have a comment in the chat saying, I sang with a choir from Agape, Reverend Beckwith Church, when they came to Atlanta in the late 90s. Oh my gosh. So I have to share. I also sang in the choir. And when Ricky Beebe was in charge and the director. So I have had many incredible experiences, including singing with Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, and Sahita Garrett that she wrote for Michael Jackson. It's just, yeah, incredible experience. So Karen, yes, you know me, we're Agape Soul Sisters.
Well, when I was living in LA, went to Agape. This was when they were on Olympic Boulevard.
Yeah.
And I liked to go on the Wednesday nights. So I've no doubt heard you guys sing when I did go to the Sunday choir events. And Ricky and I were pretty good friends, actually. Not this show, but a television show I was producing at the time. I had her on it. Of course, we've had the Rev on many times on this show. And
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
I went to Jamaica with the Rev and with Ricky, and it was in 1996, I think it was. And it was their coming out party. I'll never forget seeing Reverend Michael in little Speedos. So I've known
You got to see the Jamaican Michael, like the Speedos.
Jamaican, and
That's so funny.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot
Well,
of fun.
you have some good stories. You got some juicy stories. I've got some juicy stories too, but I'm
Well,
not gonna do
let's
that
just-
here.
I first started going to Agape when he was in the basement of the Santa Monica Miramar Hotel. And there were like 20 of us on metal folding chairs.
Oh my gosh.
Far back.
Yeah. So you have known him since the beginning. That is deep.
Yeah.
That is deep and powerful. And then you got to see this incredible journey.
Been amazing. I mean, and he's the real deal. He's a beautiful man, beautiful brother.
Yeah, he did a blessing for both of my babies, both of my kids, and yeah. Yeah, water blessing with a rose. So
all right,
yeah,
well, we still
christening.
have
I'm sorry, we're chatting. I'm sorry, everybody. We have a show.
But we have more. We've much more. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate all the comments about Agape.
Yeah, lots of comments coming in.
We went down that path, so don't forget Sacred Awakening live. And it was such a blessing to connect with all of you. And I wish you all the best in your journey, and also everyone who's spoken before me, and much abundance to you all.
Thank you, Charissa. Well, hopefully you'll do a little moving and grooving, because we've got some music with Hannah.
Okay.
Whew, all right. Hang in there, everybody. We still have Hannah and then a wonderful couple for you to meet and we're going to chat with, and Global Peace Tribe announcements and an Omashar song. So it's a very long and full Wednesday night show tonight. Hannah, welcome back.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so glad you're with us tonight.
I'm so glad I'm here. I've been deeply moved by everyone. It's an honor to be here with you.
Wonderful. Well, tell us a little bit about what your next song is going to be.
So this next song is called Humble Like the Jungle. And I think I'll sing it first and maybe we chat after. But yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you feel me? I'm humble.
all your mind. Air your shadows out into the light. Choose to love and you will heal in time. Or let the fear of the unknown consume to swallow your life. I am humble like the jungle. I am healing, can you feel me? I am humble like the jungle. I am healing, can you feel me? I am a never-ending song of the morning star. The situation's rearranging all that you think you are. I'll ride the wind like fever across the great divide. I'll return when you call my name, for my love's not afraid to die. I'm humble like the jungle. I am bleeding, can you feel me? I am humble like the jungle. I am healing, can you feel me? Holy Ghost, I'll make you proud. Yeah, you know I heard you crying out loud. I was born in the belly of the beast, in the middle of the night, in the temple of defeat. I am here cause you called my name. I know the demon tried to snuff your flame. Cold desire, let the fire burn in me. For the elemental nature of my soul is flying free. Bless this hell and all the damage done. Mother knows that the war's been won. Now's the time for the healers on the run to steady up the beat and the rhythm of the drum. Meditate, let it all arise. Celebrate every tear in your eyes. You're brave for just being alive, with a monumental weight of forgetting you're divine. I am humble like the jungle. I am healing, can you feel me? I am humble like the jungle. I am bleeding, can you feel me? I am humble like the jungle. I
Send appreciation and love. What a beautiful, beautiful voice. I'm going to read some of the comments coming in. Susan commenting on the earth is healing. Kathy writes, deep resonance in a somewhat past familiar way. Yes, there's a very haunting quality. That's exactly what Kathy just wrote. There's the word in my mind too. Kind of a haunting quality, beautiful voice and music. Omashar writes, sublime, humble, powerful. Another great song share. Thank you. Incredible healing voice. So comments still coming in, and Hannah, you've got just a real beautiful, beautiful quality. Thank you. And clearly you're tapped in. Yeah.
Thank you.
If people want to watch this song, by the way, it's available on YouTube. She has a YouTube video. So if you go to YouTube and put in her name, Hannah Bourke, Bourke, there it is, Humble Like the Jungle. There's a beautiful video. And this is why we want to raise money for her GoFundMe to make a video of the first song that she played tonight. So that's going to be really, really important for us to support her. And I put it in the chat box again, the ways to do that. Will you be in Sebastapol on April 19th for the event at Miss Daisy's?
I will be there. Yeah, I'm very honored to be there. I'll be offering intuitive readings, energy healings, and a full live music set.
Fantastic. Wow. Well, Hannah, let me see if I can bring Hannah. Heather, thank you so much for introducing us to Hannah. You're right. She's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, we got lucky with her.
Yeah, so just want to encourage everybody to come on out on April 19th to the big event in Sebastapol. Reach out to Hannah, and again, her website to learn all things Hannah. It's her website, is her name, Hannah, Hannah, Bourke, Bourke. And here's her website. That's where you can learn more about her upcoming classes and events. You can reach out to her. She clearly is very tapped in and does very unique clairvoyant, psychic, soul activation readings, and also Reiki, aura healing. And I sure hope, will you come back and be on the show again?
I would love to.
Good, I would love that too.
Yeah.
So let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Heather, thank you. Miss Daisy, thank you. Hannah, thank you.
Thank you.
And stick around because we're about to meet a really interesting couple. As we kind of wind into the final presenters for the evening, welcome Britton and Carolee Beckham. And I'm going to read a little bit about them. They have a really powerful story to share. It's of healing, it's leaving religion, finding empowerment, and sexual awakening. They were raised Mormon, and they flipped a mediocre marriage and lackluster sex life into an empowered, awakened union. As co-creators of their lives together, navigating betrayal, they dismantled everything, their beliefs, their roles, their relationship, and they started completely over on their own terms, built on a foundation of truth. Over 5 years, they've consciously recreated their union from the inside out, re-envisioning everything. They said goodbye to their old life, their old careers, and everything they owned. They traveled the world with their children for a year and a half, and now they've stepped back into their soul work, which is all about inspiring people, like tonight, through their magical story. The magical story of us is the story of how, through unconditional love, authentic forgiveness, and a commitment to the inner work, we can find the greatest life that was possible for us. So, welcome to the awakening world.
Thank you, Scott.
I've worked a fair amount with friends and clients who have had the challenge of leaving a church, whether it was leaving the Mormon Church or leaving Jehovah's Witnesses. And this is not to make a negative comment on those two churches, but it's very difficult to leave. Very difficult. It takes a lot of courage. And I remember one client I was working with telling me the story that when she left the Mormon Church, her mother disowned her, and she was at the gas station pouring gas next to her mother, who was pouring gas in her car, and her mother would still not acknowledge her. I'll never forget that story. So you've lived it. You've lived that level of how challenging it is to break away. How old are your children?
We have 4. Our oldest is 13. It goes boy, girl. So we have a 13-year-old son. He's a Leo. A 10-year-old daughter. She's a Virgo. An 8-year-old boy who's a Gemini. And our youngest is a 4-year-old going on forever old soul star Scorpio. So they're all actually really star children for sure. But yeah.
And what was it like traveling with them? Where are some of the places that you went?
We well, I want to jump in real fast and talk about the Mormon element. I love that Neil Donald Walsh was mentioned tonight, actually, because his series of books were fundamental in helping us reprogram. And that came into our life at a time where we weren't even sure what to think, what to believe, what to know, and it showed us a new way. And so that
Yeah, it was actually, I think, that first book in his series was the first book I read after leaving the church, and it just blew my mind open. It was amazing. It was exactly what I needed to sort of deconstruct in my faith transition.
So that was fun to
Neil
hear
is
his
a-
name mentioned tonight.
He's a wonderful man. Back when we first started doing our shows, we had a show called Saturday Night Alive, and Neil was a regular guest on it. And we actually did an entire program just with Neil a couple times. And he's when I was living in Ashland, I spent some time with him, and he's a very humble man. He's remarkably humble, actually. So yeah, he's pure love, as I'm sure Charissa has probably met him through Humanities Team. So I'm just curious about children in tow traveling the world. What was that like?
Yeah. So a little bit of a background story to that, right? We met in Utah. We met at church. And we were both 6th generation Mormons. So really, really deep. It was just such a part of our ancestors like traveled the plains and settled Utah and had multiple wives. So we like really come from Mormon roots. And we were living in Utah, and we had our first medicine journey and went to church the very next day because we had some commitments at church, and we were still in this medicine, and it really showed us a clear vision of what we were in and that we didn't want to be there anymore. And so it was like psilocybin into church, into no more church, and into a reframing of everything. So that was back in 2019. And there's a lot more story to tell through all of that. But by 2022, we decided, after some really like what we called the full yes. We were living like the full yes. And that led us to decide to sell our house that we had built, and to sell all of our furniture and everything we owned, without having a home to go to. And we then decided that home would become Bali. So that was the first step in our journey, is we sold everything and we moved all the way across the other side of the world.
Yeah, and in fact, I'll just jump in about, we had 8. So when you ask about what was it like, we left with, I think, 23 pieces of luggage, and there was a small amount of stuff that we stored in Utah, but we had all this luggage, and we toted it around Bali for 5 months, and finally decided that we needed to go down to 7, and so that's what we ended up doing. But yeah, it was such a journey in consolidating and deciding what was important to us. You know, that whole selling off everything was just like it's just an opportunity to start over completely. And so, so we ended up toting around basically clothes and a few other things, and some of like we had a small bag of ritual stuff that we carried around, a little bin, so that we could do magic while we traveled. And yeah, and it was just a wild ride with the kids. You know, we started in Bali, and then after we realized Bali wasn't going to be our new home, we went to Vietnam, and then we went to France, and then spent 3 months in France, and then we went up to Ireland and jumped down to England. And every place we stayed for a while. Like it wasn't just a quick ding ding, you know. And then we spent some time doing Harry Potter for the kids for like 10 full days. It was this beautiful Harry Potter experience, and it was a lot of fun. Brought out the child in me. And then from there, Carolee and I went to Egypt and did a
Well, you
2 week.
forgot
Oh,
Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
forget
Scotland's
Scotland.
important.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, and then we went to from Egypt. We went on Carolee and I went on a 3 week pilgrimage in Egypt. And there's a beautiful story about how we landed that pilgrimage. And so we were guided through all the temples in this private tour in Egypt and along the Nile. And from there, we sort of manifested coming to Colorado.
Well, after the pilgrimage in Egypt, we then lived in an oasis called Siwa, which is in the Sahara, very close to the Libyan border on the north part of Egypt. And we lived there with our children for 6 weeks. And then from there, we live our life with a lot of magic and a lot of mysticism and a lot of like we kind of viewed this journey of finding our home as a quest. So we found the crones and we looked for the crows and we were like, where in the world is home? And we had already tuned in to like the name of our home while we were in this pilgrimage in Egypt, and it's Anahata, and the Sanskrit, heart chakra, and um, Anahata ended up being in Lyons, Colorado, and we're here now on a beautiful 46-acre piece of land. But what I want to add before I dive more into that is when we first sold everything, it was the biggest jump into the unknown. Everybody thought we had lost our minds, especially because we were raised very different. And in that community, we did experience rejection and we experienced an ending of friendships. And thankfully, a lot of our family members we're still in contact with. And, there's still connection and community within our tight family group, but there were other friendships that went to the side. And, but we really thought that Bali would be home. And while we were there, Spirit just started really working on us and calling us into what we call a soul pilgrimage. Everywhere we traveled, except for Vietnam. We went there because as Mormons, I served a mission, he served a mission. I went to Latvia, he went to Australia speaking Vietnamese. That's the Mormon past life. And so we wanted to visit Vietnam, but anyway, France was deeply connected to Magdalene and the Rose lineage, and Ireland and Scotland and England had a lot to do with our heritage and our spiritual lineage. I actually teach the Celtic Will of the Year, and we honor the will and do a lot of alchemical work in our own stuff of as above astrology, so below, the Celtic Will of the Year. So all of that weaves. But yeah, the journey was this beautiful guided for land activation of soul remembrance.
Now, what are you doing now? Because I know that you have some wonderful offerings. Tell us a little bit about your present time world and life.
Yeah, so once we landed in Colorado, I had already left my career as a software engineer of 22 years. And that was my 3D World job. And it was fulfilling to a point. but it sort of eventually tugged at my soul in a way that I just had to leave, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know where I was going to be. And so it's just like, just get out of it. And frankly, if I hadn't gotten out of it, there's no way we could have sold everything and traveled. So it was an important, prerequisite. But after we landed here in Colorado and started to find our community, we knew we wanted to drop into like, okay, we need to start making money again and doing that thing. But we wanted to do it from the soul, and we really wanted to share something that would just make us feel alive every day. And so we just have been in the last year developing that message and finding out exactly what it is. And we really just recognize, I mean, it's kind of a simple answer, but we just look back at our journey and that's our message. Our journey is this awakening out of an oppressive religious society. And without sovereignty, all your authorities is given up when you're in a religion like this, because you go through other people or through books to achieve connection to the divine. And so through that awakening journey and then healing betrayal in our relationship, we went through some really strong shadow work, and we've been doing it for years, and we became well acquainted with the work. And so what we're trying to teach people and what we want to share is, as you awaken together as a couple, there is a powerful union that can be formed that is so capable of achieving the dream life, right? Like when you're in an aligned union with each other, then nothing's impossible to manifest. And this home that we're at is an example of that. It's a beautiful manifestation that came through our alignment. And so we've really just flipped our whole life around, and that's the message we want to share, is like, through magic and connecting with your heart, you can follow that path no matter where it takes you, and you will find a beautiful life on the other side of it.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think most of us had a disillusionment with whatever religion we were raised in. And what's sad is when people just then cut out spirituality in their life completely. So I really appreciate that, even though you left the dogma and the religion that you left, you still stayed on a spiritual path. And of course, really that is the journey of humanity, going from religions where it's a charismatic leader or dogma teaching us who to be and what to be, and instead learning how to go directly to source. And from an astrological point of view, as you know, that's what the Aquarian age is about. We're leaving the Piscean age, where there was Buddha and Krishna and Jesus and all the different charismatic leaders that we felt we had to go through the church or go through them. And in the Aquarian age, we're going straight, learning that the connection is direct. So I want to come back to your kids, because again, it's one thing for you to do this with the two of you, but how's it been for 4 kids, 4 completely different beings, 2 boys, 2 girls, different ages? How has this journey been for them?
Well, let me actually, Scott, add something that it was actually very important for us during this journey.
Yeah.
We brought in help. We called in help. Like, we knew that we were going to be on this pilgrimage. It's what it turned into, and so we just knew we needed assistance. And it was quite amazing and miraculous. And that's actually why we call it the magical story, is because every time that we had an aligned action, it was like something just manifested very, very quickly for us. And in this case, we had 2 women that we brought in, one that was in Bali with us, and then another that traveled from Vietnam all the way to Egypt. And they basically, helped care for our children and teach them. And it was an important part of how we could function as a family of 6, but then adding a 7th.
Yeah, I'll add to this too. In our I like to call it my past life and this life. of Mormonism. There's a lot of gratitude, actually. We have such a foundation of Jesus and his teachings, and now we're really in alignment with Yeshua and Mary, and we've taken that foundation into our life now. But what else transformed radically was how we parented our children. It was actually even as a practicing Mormon, I really was drawn to have my children naturally. So even our 13-year-old was born at home. All of our children were born at home. And it was through carrying these incredible beings of light, these star children, that my vibration, it was shook out of me. Like my healing came through the portal of being a mother, and me realizing my own woundings from my childhood weren't serving me or my children. So I had to do something different. And it was really that, how am I going to do this different for them, that caused the difference for me? So, our oldest had been to a very religious private school that was highly academic. He was reading before he was 5, and we felt so proud about that. The other 3 have been completely in a Waldorf education. I mean, this is a very night and day kind of difference. And so, we've navigated. They're all very strong personalities, and so like very strong children. And so we did need help. And there were moments, especially like with the oldest, where he was not happy that he wasn't with friends anymore. And
it was really difficult for him to leave everything. He was on a soccer team, we just in the middle of the year, it was like September, school just started, and so we're up and at it, and it was like a really difficult thing for him. And he held a lot of resentment towards us for most of that journey, I would say about a year of that 18 months. There was a lot of back and forth contention. And at one point, like in Bali, just when we were starting, we were like, dude, it's okay that if you don't want to be here, we'll send you back home to be with grandma. We wanted him to be on board, so there was some seriousness going on there in the parenting department to try and like help him get on board with this ship that was moving pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, it's, our children are a life. Like, being together with them has brought so much healing and so much joy and so much purpose. And, as someone who traveled a lot in my life as a single person, in my childhood and in my adulthood before I got married, there's places that I've always loved, specifically France. And now that we've completed this pilgrimage, and we moved, like we had to cut down. They weren't very happy about getting rid of all of their stuff. We learned stuffed animals and Legos are like the most precious possessions of children. Nothing else really matters, and it's all just clutter, but stuffed animals and Legos. But yeah, we really, like, now that
it was actually quite nice to just get rid of all the plastic toys that we had in the house. It was like
really
I didn't like them anyway, and then it was like, oh, I finally get to just trash them all when we left.
So traveling with the kids, we had so many beautiful photos, so many beautiful moments, so many hard moments. What it really did for us as a family is we had this total program in our previous culture of what our family unit was supposed to look like, down to even the children get baptized at a certain age, boys get ordained to the priesthood at a certain age, girls do this, that you can't date. Like, everything is predetermined.
Yeah, even up until like when we become grandparents, like we're supposed to serve missions as an elderly couple, like our children serve missions, they get married in the LDS temple. Like the Mormon church, the paradigm there is extremely, well, I could say all encompassing. And so all of that was part of that threshold, that doorway we had to walk through of walking into the unknown, not knowing what life would look like. None of our life would look like, because it was all planned out already. So it was a hard decision to start, but that's when the magic all started to pour in.
Yeah, so the journey was really healing. It was a healing journey for our whole family, where we were able to deconstruct, and there was a lot of unschooling. There was this Waldorf nanny that came and did circle with our kids. There was beautiful land connection. And now that we're here in Colorado and the kids are in alternative programs out in the community, and we have some pause and some breath to like work on our soul offerings and really like build this together, they all have gratitude and love. They're asking, Mom, when can we go back to France? Mom, when can we go back to Egypt? Mom, like I really want to go back to Bali. And so they all have this desire and this drive and this love for other cultures and the sacredness that you can experience of these other cultures. And while we were in Egypt, our little home was made out of this magical mixture of salt and crystal and mud. It was like this complete earth home in this old town, Shali area. And right next to us was a mosque. We heard the call to prayer 5 times a day while we lived there for 6 weeks. And the kids it was so beautiful for them to like see life a different way. And I'm so grateful that it's going to be a foundation for them into their adulthood and their own self-exploration.
Oh, what a great story. One of our people wrote, you should make a movie, and maybe you will. I mean, it's definitely for sure. Well, of course, we're just getting a homeopathic dose of your story. And this is where we can learn more about the magical story of us. And so everybody go to this website, pop in your email address so you can join the magical story and kind of follow you. And again, if you just go to subscribepage.io/the magical story of us.
Yeah, and you can actually just go to themagicalstoryofus.com and it will forward you to that.
Oh, okay,
page.
great. That's good to remember. Okay, themagicalstoryofus.com. That's a nice URL to have.
Yeah, it is. I'm amazed it was available.
It came to us in a magical synchronistic experience as a story. Like we have lots of stories. We have so many stories. He mentioned he was a computer engineer, software engineer. I am a professional fine art photographer. Those were like our past lifetime expressions, and we're also using that art. So you'll see when you follow us, there's a lot of different artistic offerings that we have. There's a lot about, the catalyst of betrayal in our union and how that deep wound catapulted us into our healing. And so we talk a lot about that, and we do like coaching for couples that have been through betrayal. We also have programs for couples that haven't been through betrayal but want to really awaken their union and awaken their
there's so
embodiment.
many, there's so much depth one can bring to a relationship. And even if it's in a good place, there's it's kind of like, the saying descend to ascend, like because we were so in such deep dire straits, being oppressed in religion, having our authorities stripped from us, going through betrayal, feeling completely disconnected, like all of the things were off. And for us to just stick through it and like heal through all of that, we can see the huge contrast that isn't availed to, say, everyone that wasn't raised up in such oppressive environment or didn't go through such a relationship turmoil. And so in a way, that journey, that's why the journey that we've gone through our healing is so magical, because it's given us this huge perspective, this contrast that that we want to share and from it be able to empower others.
Wow. Well, it's wonderful to meet you. And
thank you.
I want to track, and a big hello to Erika Briones, who recommended you. So Erika, I think she's watching. I noticed I've been checking what's happening.
Oh, cool.
She's watching on Facebook. And a big hello to everybody watching on Facebook. Very beautiful. And thank you for being such an inspiration. And I want to acknowledge again how tapped in you are. Magic, you've talked a couple times about how when you set your mind on something, when you got clear on something, you'd get the support, the magic would happen. That's a really important message for everybody watching tonight. Get centered. And when we're in alignment with our soul, when we're, not following our ego, but we're following our soul's wise path, magic does happen. Good things happen. Beautiful things happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's really probably the common theme. I'm going to bring up all of our presenters for a moment here. There's Hannah and Charissa and Heather. Let's see if Khadijih is still here. She is. Here we go. What do all these people have in common? They all are tapped in. You know, that's why the music is so beautiful that Hannah sings. That's why the meditation that we hear from Khadijih is so profound. You know, I really want to acknowledge Miss Daisy, Heather, Charissa, Britton Carolee. All of you are examples of whatever journey you've been on that's led you to the place where you are. And we're still on the journey. It never ends. But I really want to acknowledge that you all are examples of human beings having a spiritual beings having a human experience, and really following your inner guidance, following your wise heart, as I like to call it. So thank you all for being such a wonderful inspiration tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, don't go away, everybody, because we've got a couple of really important announcements, and then, of course, an Omashar song. But this is really important because we've got a couple of really unique things happening this weekend. So there's an amazing guy named Mark Anthony. He calls himself the Psychic Explorer, and I've been wanting to have him on the show for quite a while. And he's able to join us on Saturday, but I already had another whole show scheduled. So we're going to do a special 1-hour program at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 1 hour before our regular Awakening World show. And Mark is going to help us learn how we can have more interdimensional communication. The veils are thinning, they're getting thinner and thinner and thinner. The Schumann resonance is changing, everything's changing. And it's much easier now for us to access our angels, our guides, our deceased loved ones, our wisdom keepers. And Mark is going to show us how to do that. So this is a free offering. This is, of course, for all of our subscribers. But for those of you who are watching on Facebook, or on YouTube, this is free to everybody. And so I want to invite you and encourage you to join us Saturday at 5 o'clock as we go deep with Mark Anthony, the Psychic Explorer. You can learn more by going to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. And I'm also going to pull up the link and put it into the chat box. Now, this is a different link than our Saturday night show. So here we go. I'm putting this into the Zoom room for all of our subscribers. So make sure you copy and save that link. So use that link to come in at 5 o'clock on Saturday. It'll be an hour-long show. Omashar will do a song at the last 5 minutes while I go to the other Zoom room to get ready for the Awakening World. And then we'll have our regular Awakening World show, as usual, at 6 p.m. And our Awakening World show is going to be celebrating the Interbeing Festival. You might remember we did this last year. My good friend Vineet Allen will be co-hosting. We've got lots of wonderful music with Omashar, Billy Jonas, Adame Dembele, and some wonderful presenters from the Interbeing Festival. So we will go from interdimensional communication to an interbeing festival. There's some sort of a coincidence and synchronicity happening there. So that's what's happening on Saturday. I hope that's clear for everybody. But wait, there's still more. Of course, Kristen Hoffman is one of our all-time favorite musical artists. And Swami Steve, also known as Swami Beyondananda, makes us laugh and is a wise man. We have a little bit to say sometimes about love, being a love coach. So we are doing a special program on Sunday. What the world needs now is love and music and laughter. It's pretty heavy out there, and we want to lighten it up. So please join us on Sunday at 5 o'clock Pacific time for music with Christian, wit and wisdom with Swami Beyondananda, a little bit of love from Scott, and it's going to be a very special evening. And please do join us. And there is a special discount code for that. So I'm going to, while during the Omashar song, I'm going to put the registration link into the chat box and give you the discount code. But for those of you watching on Facebook, the discount code is half price. Just put in half price and it reduces it. You get it for half price. And I really hope you'll all join us on Sunday. A lot of you have already registered. It's going to be a really, really fun show because we need more love, more music, and more laughter while all that crazy stuff is going on in the world. Okay, those are our announcements for the evening. And I am going to turn it over to beloved Omashar to close us out.
Wow, what a rich and beautiful evening. What a tapestry. Thank you so much, everybody. And just to weave us all together in this winding down, this song is called Rainbow Nation. So, of course, we have to have one of these. And me. Let's do it. All right. I think we're good. We are. Whoops. Yes, we are good. We are gathered in this nation, raising frequency, raising vibration. Hearts are open, hands together, loving each other, sisters and brothers. And what we are is light in form, and light in form will lift us all. So don't give up on walking tall. The time is now, so heed the call and wake up to the light of this new day. Because we are the heart of our world, the light in our world. We are the joy in our world, the love in our world. Showing the colors, Rainbow Nation, higher frequency, higher vibration. Minds are open, love is flowing, lifting each other. And yes, we are growing, because what we are is light in form, and light in form will lift us all. So don't give up on walking tall. The time is now, so heed the call and wake up to the light of this new day. Because we are the heart of our world, the light in our world. We are the joy in our world,
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Omashar. Going to go to gallery view one last time for those of you.
Well, I got a confession. I was a member of the Mormon Church for almost a year.
Wow. That's a quick in and out.
It was. I won't go into it too much. However, it was definitely an interesting experience in my life when I was living in New Zealand, and I attempted to pit my metaphysical perspective with these two elders that came to my door and shared their perspective. And I thought, hang on a minute, you guys are speaking such amazing depth and truth, and I couldn't quite match it. And anyway, I became, and they roped me in literally. And then I realized what I was into, but I was very grateful for the experience because I saw it from the inside out. And I have deep love and respect for that tradition and an amazing revelations from Britton and Carolee. Holy smoke. Anyway, that's enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, those of you who have your cameras on. And we love those of you who don't have your cameras on. Also want to acknowledge all of you watching the recording because more and more people watch the recording. And now some people are turning their cameras on. There's Kathy. Hi, Kathy. And there's Trisha. So thank you, everybody. Remember, Saturday at 5 o'clock, special Zoom room link for Mark Anthony. Definitely come. Share it with your friends. Get it out there because he's amazing. And we're really blessed to have him with us. And then Saturday night at 6 o'clock, we'll follow up. And much love to each and every one of you. And we'll see you on Saturday. Thank you, everybody. Good night.